When I think of Halloween, I think of scary movies. I think of candy. I think of, going door to door, trick or treating. And when I think of Halloween movies, there's some that come to mind, and there's some that always stick with me, and that'll be in your life forever. You know what I'm saying? By the time you become old, these movies will be still be getting remade, still getting made. There'll be a Halloween 80 because they're classic. And one thing about a classic, it never dies. So today I have top 10 Halloween movies, and I guess you can't put these in order. There's no way. But let me also say, man, this is hard making a top 10 list. It would have been better doing a top 100 horror movie list. So I got 10, but I got a lot of honorable mentions. Let me start off with honorable mentions. It's quite a bit, you know what I'm saying? And I know I left some out because, like I say, it's hard to put every single thing in this video. So, hey, I know whenever I get done with this, I'm going to say, damn, I forgot about, So, with that being said, disclaimer, I know I done forgot some. If I ain't got your favorite horror movie on here, put it in the comments. Let me know. What did I miss? How did my list do? Do you agree? Let's get started. Honorable mentions. First off, I got Sleepaway Camp. Yeah. When I was little, spending the night at my partner's house, you can kind of watch movies that you wouldn't watch at home. You know what I'm saying? Especially if their parents was a little lenient or not paying attention as much. You know what I'm saying? And our parents got jiggy with it. So it might be times you could slip through the cracks and do some grown up shit as a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Watch a grown up movie, knowing good and well you ain't supposed to be watching it. Sleepaway Camp is one of those movies where, as a kid, you ain't got no business watching this. It's a lot of sex scenes, drug use, all kind of shit that you ain't got no business watching when you're a little kid. Sleepaway Camp, it has 3 movies. The first one, it was about a girl who becomes she goes to camp, and it seemed like she's getting picked on and ridiculed at the camp. But by the end of the movie, you realize this motherfucker's the killer. She's the one killing everybody. All right, the movie ends. That's what part 2 is about. But in this time, she's all grown up, and I think she's a counselor at the same camp. Part 3, she returns back to the camp for more killing. Part 3 was a bit extreme and out of control. I ain't gonna lie, it had a lot of comedy to it. You know what I'm saying? Part 1 was definitely the best in this series. And a lot of these horror movies I'm about to name, part 1 was the best. You know what I'm saying? You could have 110 movies of it, 11 movies of it, but 9 times out of 10, man, ain't nothing like the original. Lost Boys, another honorable mention. Good ass movie, but it just couldn't make the list. Sleepwalkers. I don't know if you remember Sleepwalkers, but this was a good movie. Not too much of a horror, like scary, a lot of killing, but it's in the lines of a horror movie. It's made by Stephen King. Look him up. He's one of the best horror movies ever, along with John Carpenter and there's some more. Wes Craven, a few more of them. But you got Thinner. I don't know if you remember Thinner, but this is one of the most creative stories ever that I've seen in a horror movie. You got a big ass fat sloppy dude that love to eat. You know what I'm saying? And is an asshole. Well, karma comes around when he's getting, not to tell the story, but he make a wrong decision and he hits somebody with a car. He hit a girl with a car. Come to find out that girl's auntie is a witch doctor. You know what I'm saying? And can do spells and shit. He pissed her off by hitting this little girl and hitting her with the car and killing her. She put a curse on dude. You know what I'm saying? And his curse is he get thin. And he just started losing weight, man. Like, At first, everybody's like, "Oh man, you look good, man. You losing weight." Next thing you know, everybody's like, "Damn, man, you look sick. Like you losing way too much weight." Next thing you know, the motherfucker's extremely skinny, and his bones are showing, like his ribs, and that's why it's a horror movie. He ended up getting real fucking skinny, and also at that he becomes weak, so he begs a lady, to take that spell off. And I'll let you watch the movie. You want to know what happens at the end? It got like kind of a twist in it. Pet Cemetery. Part 1, Part 2, both of these movies is fucking classics when it comes to horror movies. And there was one scene in the movie that scared the bejesus out of me. Jesus. Oh man, I don't even want to tell the story, but just know there's a part in the movie I had fucking nightmares about. This one little scene sticks with me, and Stephen King know what he be doing, man. This guy is a master of horror movies. The Shining. When you talk about Stephen King, I had to bring a list of Stephen King movies because, I would have at all the Stephen King movies, man, at least got to be 5 on my list that had to make it. You know what I'm saying? Honorable mentions or the real list or something. But this guy has too many good movies, too many ideas not to be on this list. You also got Creepshow. You know what I'm saying? That was like a little mini movies. They about 30 minutes, 40 minutes a piece. He did good on that also. You got Tremors. That's a nice little about the worms that come out the ground, but big, huge, giant worms. And people be, only thing you can do is maybe get on top of your roof. But all these movies are good. The Howling, those are some good movies. Hellraiser, another one that didn't make the list, but man, Pinhead had to be mentioned. I also like when it comes to Hellraiser movies, I like Part 3. Hellraiser 3 blew me away. I don't know about all the other ones, but I know Hellraiser 3 was off the chain. The People Under the Stairs. You know what I'm saying? If you in your 30s, 35 and up, you may remember this movie. And if you old school and like being around people older than you, and you in your 30s or younger than that, you might know about it. But you got to be, doing your history in order to know about this movie. I think this was another Wes Craven or somebody made this movie that's well known that makes horror movies. People Under the Stairs, it was real good. It was different. I enjoyed it. Tales from the Crypt, that's a TV show. Had over 7, 8 seasons. I loved it. You had different celebrities every week, and it made you wonder who's going to be next on here. Also, honorable mentions. You got movies like you got horror movies like Hocus Pocus. That's not really too much scary, but it's a Halloween movie. So also Hocus Pocus 2 just came out for the kids. So if you haven't seen that, good thing to watch with the kids is Part 1 and Part 2. Just had to throw that in there real quick. Now we make it to the list. First, before I make it to the list, honorable mentions. Put something in the list. Honorable mentions. You know what I'm saying? You know it didn't make the list, but you gotta talk about it. Puppet Master. Gotta bring that up. They had about 4 or 5 of those movies. Nice little Halloween franchise they had of that. All right. Also, Scream. Let me put that in there. Scream, honorable mention. I remember when I first seen that, blew me away. You know what I'm saying? My partner called me like, bro, you got to go to the movies to see Scream. I'm like, what? Scream? Never heard of it. Man, there's a movie called Scream. You got to go to the movies and see this, dude. It's off the chain. It's at the dollar movies. What? It's at the dollar movies? Say less. That's all you had to say. You know what I'm saying? Back in them days, I walked to the dollar movies, scrape me up $1. I don't care if I got to gather up some cans at the beginning of the day. You know what I'm saying? Walk door to door, pick up cans out of people's yard. Ask people if they got any cans they don't want. Shit, motherfuckers been had a whole bag of cans for you. That's back in the good old days, man. But All right, now we getting into the list, man, and I'm finna do a whole. I'll tell you why it made the list and not honorable mention. Also, well, I got a couple more honorable mentions. My Bloody Valentine. That movie was good as. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's a lot of killing. If you haven't seen that, My Bloody Valentine. Also, The Collector. I don't know about part two, but I know The Collector blew me away. There's a lot of killing. And it was like a dude who locked people in this club and just start whacking motherfuckers, start killing people left and right. And it's a club full of people partying. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Now we get into number 10. A lot of these movies is going to have multiple movies of it, like franchise, because they're so classic. You know what I'm saying? And these 10 movies, they so classic. You can't, in my opinion, they don't get no better. When I think of Halloween, I think of these movies. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, number 10. There are so many Texas Chainsaw Massacres, and by this being based on a true story, it's even more, it hits even harder when it's based on a true story. Because a lot of these horror movies are just fictional. But when it's real, and you know it's real and it happened, it hits harder, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a horror movie, basically. This is a real life situation they turned into a movie. So you look at Dahmer and how people don't like that the families, Texas Chainsaw Massacre been going on. You know what I mean? So Amityville, the Amityville horror. This goes into Poltergeist also. I'm gonna put a slash Poltergeist. Amityville Amityville and Poltergeist movies, they go hand in hand, and it's a lot of them. So you think of Halloween, you think of haunted house. Why do we go in haunted houses? You know what I mean? It's along those lines. Amityville. Now, segue into The Exorcist. They say is one of the best horror movies of all time. It gets no better than the little white girl who got that fucking demon in her face turned green and she throwing up green shit and she levitating and her head is spinning. Like that shit was creepy as hell, man. Shouts out to whoever made The Exorcist. And this is like some real life shit too, because you got real life priests like old boy in the movie who was taking the demon out of people and saving. You got people who do that in real life. You know what I mean? So that's wild, man. Next is a fucking classic. You see this little motherfucker everywhere. You see him on t-shirts. You see him on lunchboxes. Every goddamn where you see this little motherfucker. That's how much of a classic he is in a fucking a staple in the horror movies. None other than Child's Play, Chucky. Chucky, number 7. And Child's Play 1, they got TV shows of it. They got Child's Play 2, 3. I think they had a 4, maybe a 5. It might be a 6. But nothing's like number 1. Child's Play, the original. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that one. That was the best one, hands down. Next, I got to go to, now this doesn't have a big franchise or nothing like that, but this is one of my horror movies. When I say it scared the mess out of me when I was little, and I had nightmares over this movie, and it is one of the scariest movies I ever seen in my life. And if I was to watch it right now, I probably would want the light on, man. It make you, I ain't gonna lie, it's a creepy ass, and like next time you're in the dark, it make you think somebody there. You know what I'm saying? It's a movie that fuck with your medulla if you let it. If you ain't seen this movie, because also it's slept on. I end up seeing this movie at my homeboy house. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he had it on VHS or it came on HBO or what. But the movie I'm talking about, number 6, is The Shocker. No, I'm not talking about 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about The Shocker, the movie The Shocker. Because, you try to Google The Shocker, that's what it pulls up. 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink. If you don't know what that is, look that up. Never mind, don't look that up. Don't look that up. That's nasty. But yeah, The Shocker movie. Look that up. Matter of fact, I feel like we need to take a break from the list real quick and look at this Shocker movie trailer, because a lot of people don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I say the Shocker. This movie was made by Wes Craven, and it's fire, man. Let me show y'all the trailer. Make sure I put movie. If you don't, it'll pull up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, there go the movie right there. Shocker. Damn, that's creepy as hell. I ain't gonna lie, just looking at that fucking, just looking at the man, just looking at the title of it, man, it's creepy as hell. This was 1989.
Let it be known to all.
This Wes Craven, no wonder it's so creepy.
Audiences can't get enough of the Woman King.
We are here today to bear witness to the execution of Horace Pinker, whose unspeakable atrocities have horrified the people of this great state. He stands convicted of 52 counts of aggravated assault, 23 counts of armed robbery,
52 counts of assault, 23 counts of armed robbery,
and 37 counts of murder in the first degree.
37 counts of murder in the first degree.
Prisoner, have any final words?
Yeah. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I don't think he's dead.
Contact
He's among you.
Now, Wes Craven brings you his greatest creation.
No more.
Shocker.
Man, when I say this movie is creepy, scary. Hey, when I tell you a duck can pull a truck, hook 'em up. I ain't gonna tell y'all nothing wrong. This movie scared the mess out of me. All right, now we go to number 5. Number 5 is Saw. I absolutely love Saw, man. Saw 1 blew me away. And it was the reason why I watched all the other 8 Saws after that. And I recently watched, was that not Jigsaw, but I think it was one after. Matter of fact, it was another Saw movie. So it's like 10 of them. The one with Chris Rock. That was the last Saw movie I said. Matter of fact, it was Spiral. Yeah. So they done made a whole spinoff, you know what I'm saying, of Jigsaw. I like Spiral too. It was pretty cool. I did a review on that. Check that out if you ain't seen it. But yeah, Spiral, it was pretty good. I can't lie. I thought it was gonna be kind of whack, you know what I'm saying? Just another spinoff of a cash cow. Something to make money off of. But no, it ended up being pretty good. I recommend it. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty good. All right, now we go to. Oh yeah, before I leave off of Saw had like maybe 10 movies, man. All them Saw movies are pretty good. You know, they kind of the same, but they different at the same time. Different casts, but every movie is based on the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I like it though. If you like Saw movies, then it's right up your alley. All right, now I go to 4. And 4 would have to be It. And now, not the new It, not the the fucking watered down generic It that we got now look like he on dope. I'm talking about the old original. Hell, the It that they got now look like it's computerized. Look like it was made off a computer. I'm talking about the old It, with the old man that had on makeup. You know what I'm saying? Put on a clown costume. Old Stephen King's It, classic. You know what I'm saying? Clowns is one of the most is a staple in Halloween. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the main props for scaring somebody. A lot of people are scared of clowns. So It, and the reason why is because of that movie. I seen It when I was little, and it was I still think about it to this day. You know what I'm saying? It was mind blowing how good of a movie it was. Now, number 3. Now, I got a confession. When I was little, my older cousins took me to see this movie, and I ran out the theater crying. Had to have been part 1, probably, because you already know that's one of the best ones. One of the most scariest movies of all time. The movie that put Wes Craven on the map. The movie that put Robert Englund on the map. The movie that you see damn near every few years they make another movie of it. We're talking about the iconic figure, Freddy. The glove, the striped sweater, the hat, the fucking melted face. He that dude, man. Freddy Krueger. Nightmare on Elm Street makes number 3. Number 2. Now, you could have swapped this around. This one could have been 3. The other one could have been 2. However, but Halloween is number 2. And the reason why I say that is, I mean, one of the most iconic. When you think of Halloween, you think of that Michael Myers mask. You know what I mean? So, also, they got a new one coming up. Halloween Ends is supposed to be the end of it. I do kind of want to see that movie, see what they talking about, because Halloween has been taken over by 2 different directors. Rob Zombie started doing his thing on it. You got the original maker of Halloween. He's still doing his thing on it. And to tell you the truth, I don't know. It might be 3 different directors of Halloween movies. Because I remember Busta Rhymes was in one. I don't think that was the same director as who made the first one. So this is a franchise that have been passed around, and you know, I like what Rob Zombie has done with it. He's done an extremely good job with the Halloween movies. And if I ever see a Halloween movie made by Rob Zombie again, I'm watching it. I think he made his 3rd installment of his Halloween movies. If it wasn't last year, I think, but I'm not sure. All right, number 1. You can just about know what this is. Y'all know what it is, don't you? You got to know what it is. Number 1 horror movie of all time. You see this motherfucker everywhere. He made the hockey mask famous. None other than Jason Voorhees, man. One of the most popular Halloween dudes. Guarantee you this year, more people will dress like Jason more than anything else, man. And it's like, it's been going on since the 80s. Nobody's more popular than that machete toting, 7 feet tall, big ass dude that takes shortcuts. You be running full speed, that motherfucker take off walking and beat you where you going. This is my top 10 Halloween movie list. What do y'all think about it? Appreciate y'all staying to the end. But in the comments, I need y'all to put who y'all had for y'all movies. Y'all can even put y'all top 10 if you want. Top 3, whatever. How y'all feel about this? Let me know. I love horror movies. This was an easy topic to get into. And like I said before, I apologize for any movies that I left out. It's so many of them. There could be a part 2 to this. There's so many movies. But this is Eddie's World. 14 horror movies. I appreciate you for watching. Everyone have a good Halloween. I'll be back to you next week. This is Eddie's World, a Southern Opinion. If I tell you a duck can pull a truck, You know you can believe me. Hook it up.